do think workplace norms are changing, and I think a lot of that is down to remote working, hybrid working, the increased use of video calling, and I think employee expectations have changed over the years as well. So what I think that means is that some employees have taken advantage of the situation, and it probably requires a real shift in leadership and messaging through organisations in order to manage those risks. Not as well as they should, in my view. I think that we're seeing an increase in insider threats, and those insider threats aren't just ones which perhaps we've classically thought about, which might be insider fraud or misappropriation of funds. I think that organisations are still particularly focused on external threats. It might be ransomware actors or malware. However, I think the threat from within is just as acute, and organisations need to be aware of it. I think you've used the right word there. It's culture. It's got to be toned from the top. It's got to be the board being in charge of this. It's got to be managing the risks on a daily, weekly basis to ensure that people are aware of what the threats are, how they might manifest within your organisation, and what controls you can put in place, whether it's behavioural monitoring or IT access, for instance, just to be on top of those threats. Yeah, I think data sharing is super important. Public-private partnerships, organisations like CIFAS who are able to facilitate the sharing of that data and help organisations understand where perhaps they can identify threats to their own system using intelligence provided by CIFAS. And then, of course, training from organisations like CIFAS and ACAMS is super important so that your workforce are really up to speed on modern-day threats. It was a real pleasure working with CIFAS on a report with Rachel Tiffin, one of my old colleagues, on the threat from within, a growing threat. And really that report sets out through a series of real-life case studies exactly what the nature of and scale of the threat is. Like I say, we're focused on more than just internal fraud, money laundering, cybersecurity, threats in terms of insider dealing, for instance. It's all in there, so go and access it on ACAMS website, on our Fraud Hub, or on the CIFAS website as well, and it's free to download, and I can assure you it's a great read.